What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing an Evolsaur deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck just got some amazing support that helps out this deck a lot. This deck is super fun to be able to play to make all sorts of different XZ monsters to be able to control the board. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description in every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month you're a patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Leos. Leos is a definite 3-of in the deck, and this card helps out a lot. And if it's normal or special summon, you can actually set an Evo Singularity directly from your deck to your side of the field, which is an amazing effect because it's going to help us go in for all sorts of different XZ plays. It also has a really good effect that during your main phase, if you control this card that was normal summoned or special summoned by the effect of a fire monster, you can send a fire reptile or dinosaur type monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then you can make 2 monsters on the field become the same type and level as that monster sent to the graveyard, which is going to help you go in for all sorts of different XZ plays with this card. I absolutely love this card as a 3-of in the build because it helps out so much. We then play 3 copies of Folus. Folus is an amazing 3-of in the deck that has so many cool effects that if this card, or if a monster that you control would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can tribute a reptile or dinosaur monster that you control instead. And it also has a really cool effect that if this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon an Evoltile monster from your hand or graveyard in face down defense position, which is a great effect to be able to set your copy of Ninjasho to your side of the field. And also has the ability that during your main phase, you can set an Evo Force directly from your deck, which is great because it pretty much sets up Evo Force and Ninjasho plays, which is absolutely crazy. It gets to both of those cards, which is insane. This card is a definite 3-of in the build. We're then playing 3 copies of Ninjasho. Ninjasho is an amazing 3-of in the deck because if this card is tributed, you get to special summon an Evolsaur monster from your deck, which is a great ability to be able to use with this card to instantly get an Evolsaur monster on your side of the field. We then play 2 copies of Megachirilla. Megachirilla is a definite 2-of in the build, and this card helps out a lot in this deck because it has the ability to contribute a reptile monster, discard a card, and then special summon a level 6 or lower fire dinosaur monster from your deck, which is a great effect to be able to instantly get the exact card that you want on your side of the field. It also has the ability you can banish this card from your graveyard and target a dragon XZ monster that you control with no materials and attach 2 reptile and or dinosaur monsters with different names from your hand or graveyard to that monster as a material, which is great to be able to refresh your Evolsaur monsters with more material so you can control the board even more, making this card a definite 2-of in the build. We then play 2 copies of Volcano. Volcano is really good as a 2-of in the deck. I really like playing 2 of this card in the build because if you draw into one, you still want to have one in the deck. You don't ever want to see this card in your hand, but it's really good in this deck because it has the ability, when this card is special by the effect of an Evoltile monster, you can actually target an Evolsaur monster in your graveyard and special summon that target, which is a great ability to be able to get back the exact card that you need. This card is really, really good as a 2-of in the build to be able to get your plays rolling. We then play a single copy of Elias. Elias is good as a 1-of in the build because when this card is special by the effect of an Evoltile monster, you can special summon a level 6 or lower fire dinosaur monster from your hand just to extend your plays. This card is really good to be able to special summon off of a bunch of different effects to be able to just extend your plays and make sure that you have a level 6 on your side of the field so you can make them the same level with your copy of Leos, which is really good. We then play a single copy of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. We are playing a dinosaur type deck, so this card is very easy to bring out onto your side of the field, especially since we play the Orby Dinosaur in this deck as well, so you can get to your copy of Double Evolution Pill, which is amazing to be able to summon out your copy of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno with that card. We then play a single copy of Misk. Have you read this card? This card is insane to be able to bring out cards to your side of the field, and it's a really good card to be able to bring out your copy of Archaeosaurus to your side of the field, aka the Orby Dinosaur. But this card is great to give you a lot of protection in this build as well. We then play a single copy of the Orby Dinosaur, aka the Archaeosaurus. Archaeosaurus is what we usually summon off of Misk to be able to get to our copy of our Double Evolution Pill, which this card is really good in this particular build as a 1-of because you're just basically using an extremely small dino package to be able to use in this deck. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's amazing in this particular build, just to stop your opponent from touching the deck. It's one of the best hand traps in the entire game, and it's really good in this particular build. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start off with a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is a definite one of the build just to stop your opponent from hand trapping you while you're going in for all of your plays. We then play a single copy of Double Evolution Pill. Double Evolution Pill is really good in this deck to help you summon out your copy of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, and it's easy to be able to use in this build because you basically just open Misk and you can get to this card, which is really cool about this card to help you get to your copy of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, which is just such a powerful boss monster. We then play 2 copies of Evo Force. Evo Force is insane to be able to get to your copy of Folus with this card because it lets you tribute an evil tile monster, which is always going to be an Yugioh that you're tributing with this card, and then you special summon an Evolsaur monster from your deck, and it's treated as if it was special summon the effect of an evil tile monster, which is a great ability for this card to have to get one of your copies of your Evolsaur monsters on your side of the field with this card, and then you can use Ninjasho's ability to get an additional one on your side of the field, which is insane. Your copy of Folus basically is a 1-card XZ play, which is really cool. We then play 2 copies of Triple Tactical Talents. Triple Tactical Talents is really good because you can either draw 2, look at your opponent's hand, or you can actually take control of one of your opponent's monsters, which is just really good about this card. It's one of the most powerful cards in the entire game, which is why we play this card as a 2 of in the build. We then play 3 copies of Evo Diversity. Evo Diversity is really good as a 3 of because this card is basically Rhoda for the deck, which is why we play this card as a 3 of in the build. We then play 3 copies of Fossil Dig. This is also Rhoda for the deck, which is really good to be able to get to the exact dinosaur you want. This searches your evil tile and Evolsaur. This searches any dinosaur you want that's level 6 or lower. The only card that your copy of Fossil Dig cannot search that is a dinosaur is your copy of your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, but you don't want to see that card in your hand anyways. You want to be able to summon it with your copy of Double Evolution Pill, which is why we just play a single copy of it in the build. We then play 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity to round out the spells. This card is just great in the deck to help you draw into the deck for more cards, and this card is just amazing in the build just to help you dig into the deck to get more pieces that you need so you can go in for more combos. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Evo Singularity. Singularity is great in this deck because this card is easy to get to now, and it has a great ability that lets you target an evil tile monster and 1 Evolsaur monster in your graveyard. Special summon 1 Evolsaur XZ monster from your X deck, and if you do, attach those 2 targets to that card as an XZ material, basically being a 1-card XZ play as long as you have the materials in the graveyard, which you usually will, which this card is just amazing at making additional XZ plays during your opponent's turn, especially when you detach your cards from one of your XZ monsters. It's going to make this card live, so you can make another Evolsaur monster, which is just super cool. We then also play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Impermanence is amazing just to stop your opponent's monster effects. You can also set this card on your side of the field to lock down entire columns of spells and traps, which is amazing. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with a single copy of Evolsaur Lars. And quick shout outs to my friend Will, who actually traded me this card. This card is amazing, and I love the quarter century rare. So quick shout out to Will. Thank you so much for trading me this. This card is amazing. This card is crazy powerful. It's actually generic, so it just takes any 2 level 6s to make this card. And while this card has a material, your opponent cannot target it with monster effects, which is really good to be able to do to have it non-targeting protection. It also has the ability that when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can detach 2 materials from this card or just 1 material if all the card's materials are reptiles or dinosaur monsters, and then target a face-up card your opponent controls and negate its effects until the end of this turn, which is a great ability to be able to use this card, and it's such a powerful card in this build, but you really only need 1, maybe 2 copies of it. I've been playtesting it with 1, and it's totally fine because we also play a single copy of This card is crazy powerful as well. This card is insane at controlling the board because it has the ability this card cannot be destroyed by card effects, and while this card has XZ materials, it has the ability that when your opponent special summons a monster, you can detach a material in this card and destroy that monster, giving you basically a walking Solemn Strike on legs, which is really cool. We then play 2 copies of Logia. Logia is one of the best ones to actually summon in the extract because this card is really good that when a monster would be normal or special summon or a spell or trap card is activated, you You can detach two materials from this card and negate the summon or activation and destroy that card. This card is crazy powerful. We then played 2 copies of Dolka. Dolka is great as well as a 2-up, and has a really good effect that during either player's turn, when a monster effect is activates, you can detach a material from this card and negate the activation if you do destroy that monster, which is a great effect just to be able to control the board with all of these Evolsaur monsters. We then play a single copy of Bagooska. Bagooska is just really good in this deck, and basically just putting this card in defense position and waiting it out, and it's just a great XZ monster to make. We then play a single copy of AA Zeus. AA Zeus is great to be able to make in this particular build because it can help you board wipe the field. We then play, for the Link monsters, we're going to play a single copy of Access Code. It's one of the best Link monsters in the game. You can make this card extremely easily in this build, especially with how you swarm with this deck now, but it's great to be able to make because it can come out absolutely massive and pop cards on the field. We then play a single copy of Appaloosa for the monster negates, 1 copy of Nightmare Unicorn to spin stuff, Phoenix to pop spells and traps, 1 copy of IP Masquerade to make your copy of Unicorn during the opponent's turn, or make your copy of Appaloosa during the opponent's turn, 1 copy of Link Rebo so you can link away your copy of your Archeosaurus or the Orby Dinosaur away, to be able to then go in for a copy of Secure Gardna so you have a Cyverse and a copy of a dinosaur in the graveyard, so you can activate double evolution bill so you can summon Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, which is really, really good. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played an Evolsaur deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try, especially with all the new support, because all the new support is really budget, which is really cool. And I love that about these cards because they're pretty much all printed as commons except for Lars, which is a secret, but this card is really, really good. It also comes in Quarter Century Rare. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.